next submission that we're going to work on is actually a series of submissions. There's a couple of them that we have an option for. All right? We're going to assume that we have gone ahead and gone to an S mount, or however you wanted to set it up, and we have gone ahead and gone to an arm bar. But a lot of people run into this. The guy stacks his arms however he wants, and you get caught here. And a lot of people stay right here, and they sit here and they pull and they pull and they pull, and this guy fights and he fights and he fights until finally they lose the arm bar. That's no good. We don't want that. Alright, we set this arm bar up with our forearms going across his forearms and laying back until we had good wrist control with our hands. Well, we want to take this forearm right underneath here, and we don't want it to be flat. We don't want it to be thumbs up. We want it to be sideways. The reason for that is because we want our arm to have the bones each side. We want bone touching the bone on this side of his arm and the muscle on this side of the other arm, or the other side of the arm. So when we're here, we're reaching through, we turn it. Another easy way to remember this is we're about to stack our wrist. Okay? I'm grabbing my own wrist, I reached under, I'm grabbing my own wrist here, and then with this hand, I'm grabbing his wrist. His elbow is directly on my chest, directly on my sternum. Alright, when I'm here, I'm literally going to sit up and try to use this hand to pull his hand toward his shoulder. Alright? It's called the bicep cutter. This puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the muscle, on the bicep muscle. It really, really, really hurts. Normally, you'll get a tap almost immediately when you do this. So we've gone for the arm bar. He's protecting it. Immediately, reach through, stack the wrist, stack on top of his, and pinch. A lot of people will make the mistake of trying to do it out here. They won't have any leverage here. So they're pulling, and there's nothing really to give you any leverage. When we have this elbow directly on our sternum, now when we pull down, you get a tap really quickly. Alright? So we'll go through that from the beginning. We're here, and we've set up an arm bar however you want. We've gone to an S mount, we've gone over, and we're in an arm bar situation. We can't complete the arm bar because our opponent keeps holding it. So while we're here, we can go ahead and finish the fight directly from here. I put my arm through, I stack my wrist, and I put my hand on top of his forearm. Now, with the elbow directly on my chest, I squeeze. Okay? Be careful training this. This does hurt a lot. But I squeeze. A lot of people will let go of this because, I mean, it's an immediate jolt of pain. When you go here, he'll let go. When he lets go, now you've got your arm bar. That's what we were going for in the first place. But assuming he's a really strong guy, you want to go right here. Alright? There's a lot of ways to just go ahead and work through this arm bar. I mean, you can put your feet right here on his other arm and kick it and go to the arm bar. But this doesn't do you much good if he's curled up like this, and when we kick, he rolls away from us. Now, he's getting out of the arm bar altogether. We want to keep him in tight, and if he tries to roll away from us, this bicep cutter just gets tighter. Alright? One variation of the bicep cutter that we want to use is when we've gone for the arm bar and he feels it coming, so he blocks his own arm. When we get here, a lot of guys have really strong arms or a really high pain tolerance. That's fine. We can't submit him from here for any reason. We're just not strong enough, and we're afraid he's going to turn away from us. He's going to roll out of the arm bar altogether. Well, just like when we fed the leg through here for the triangle, we have another option. Instead of feeding the leg through, we can feed the leg over and grab it right here with our own hand. And we get a tap pretty quickly. If he is just really, really strong and we need a lot of help, keeping this directly on our chest, I don't want any space right here. Keeping this on our chest, we can sit back and I can triangle my legs over his arm, and it's just very, very powerful. When I sit back, I can triangle my legs and put this foot behind his head. Now, when I pull my hands, it's very, very painful. Okay? That's one variation of the bicep cutter. From the other side, I've set up the arm bar. I'm sitting up. He feels it coming. I try for the bicep cutter, but he's really, really strong. He's got a high pain tolerance. For whatever reason, I can't get him to tap. Immediately, what I can do is throw this leg over his arm. Over. and I can stack my wrist and grab it. This oftentimes is enough to finish him. Or I can go one step further and triangle my legs. I go all the way over here, and this goes down behind his head. Now I get a really quick tap. Be really careful. You can do a lot of damage to the guy's bicep, his elbow, even his forearm. There's a lot of pressure on his arm right here, but that's a good variation that you should have.